What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back here to another day here in the MC Parks Minecraft server, a one-to-one recreation of Walt Disney World. Today, if you can get a little sneak peek as to what we are looking at here today, it's the Grand Floridian Resort. This is the flagship hotel of Walt Disney World. This is the creme de la creme, the top of the heap, the king of them all. This is the resort, the deluxe resort that Michael Eisner definitely had his say with. This was his resort. And the Grand Floridian is a resort that it was not an early, this was not one of the early resorts. The early resorts on opening day were Polynesian, contemporary, things like that. That did not include the Grand Floridian. The Grand Floridian was definitely there were plans to put a hotel here, but it took a while for that to actually come to fruition. So for a long time, we did not. Oh, I guess this isn't completely done. Well, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool seeing it not fully finished. But anyway, so that's all over here. This is obviously a deluxe resort. It opened June 28th of 1988, so it's going to be hitting its 40-year anniversary here before the end of the decade. And the theme of this resort is it's sort of a Victorian seaside resort. That's really the best way I think you can describe it. It's a very Victorian era, and considering it's off the coast of the Seven Seas Lagoon, definitely gives you that kind of beachy, like kind of off the coast of the sea vibe. You definitely get that from this resort. This resort also has 867 rooms. This is quite a resort. So you have the 867 rooms. On top of that, you also have 25 Victorian, Roy O. Disney Suite, the Walt Disney Suite, and the Grand Suite. There's 25 suites, and those are some of the specific suites in this resort. This, again, has very interesting seasonal offerings. They have a gigantic Christmas tree. They also have the giant gingerbread display, which obviously plays a huge part in this entire resort. People really love the different seasonal offerings, and right now they're getting ready for Easter already. So it looks like they've got some Easter eggs, or maybe this isn't Easter egg. Maybe this is flower pots. It might be flower pots. Let me know. I think these are flower pots now that I think about it. But they will have the giant Easter egg display here in the next couple of weeks. Honestly, it's already, it's moving along quite quickly. The giant piano here. There is somebody that plays the piano right in the main foyer of this resort. And you can see how tall. I mean, this is a grand entrance. When you come into the main entrance here, into the main lobby, you really get a feel like, wow, like this is a pretty massive, elegant resort. And it's definitely interesting because I have never actually been in the Grand Floridian, but I can tell you, for everybody that's told me that they've been here, it's definitely a different vibe. Like, you definitely feel like I'm afraid to talk loudly here. I'm afraid to not be dressed up at least a little bit, because it is just very, I'm saying this in the best way I can, a very stuck-up, nosy, sort of snooty-looking resort. And I say that as a compliment. I say it in the best way possible, because I think this is the type of resort where you're looking for that clean, crisp elegance. You're going to get that from the Polynesian. You're not going to get that as much from the Polynesian or the Wilderness Lodge, or I would even say the Contemporary Resort. I think it has that little element of it, but it's different. This is a very, very, in its own way, stuffy sort of resort. And I think a lot of people are gravitated to that. And it's definitely different than some of the other resorts on property. So when you consider they've got some interesting offerings here. They've got the Commander Porters. They have some really, really fancy, like, jewelry stores and clothing shops, because you have to consider the people that are going to be staying here in the Grand Floridian. There's obviously going to be some money, right? So, you've got the Mickey Mouse Mercantile, right? That's where you start to see some of the expensive clothing, things like that. The jewelry stores, that's all over here. Now, what's really interesting, and this really gives me throwback vibes, which is this area that we're looking at right now used to be a spot where in the the late 80s, early 90s, Michael Eisner had a special, The Muppets in Walt Disney World. And the beginning of that special, you had Fozzie Bear and his mom talking with Michael Eisner pretty much right here. So, obviously, that is a huge historical impact, right? You obviously have the Jim Henson Company, who eventually the marriage with the Disney Company happened right in this room with Michael Eisner filming with Fozzie Bear, right? So that's kind of cool. Right here, you could see this is obviously the monorail connection to Magic Kingdom and the other Seven Seas Lagoon resorts. And yeah, for the most part, right, this resort is very much known for the way it kind of holds itself in a different regard to some of the other resorts, and is maybe not as much like traditional classic charm. It's definitely a different level of elegance. They also have, I don't know exactly where it is, but they also have the very famous super expensive Michelin restaurant, which is Victoria and Albert's. And Victoria and Albert's is a very, very, very exclusive restaurant here in this resort. And it is very hard to get. It is very difficult to get reservations. It's very expensive to get reservations. That's a one in a lifetime opportunity for many. It is that type of experience. But it is in this hotel. They also have other things like Gasparilla Isle, which is, I believe, a food court. They also have Cape May Cafe, which is also another food court. So they've got a couple of different things in this area that are all kind of, right, kind of the sister or the sibling resort to the Grand Californian in Disneyland. The Grand Floridian very much invokes a similar type of feeling to it. I'm trying to think of what else to really say. Oh, so I guess I could go in this direction. So the different areas of the Grand Floridian Resort. Obviously, you have the main building, which we're walking out of now. You have Big Pine Key, Boca Chica, Conch Key, Sago Cay, and Sugarloaf. And those are just a couple of the different areas that make up the Grand Floridian Resort. There's a lot of different attached buildings here that make the entirety of the Grand Floridian. But it's pretty interesting when you really think about just everything that makes this area up. It is really, I really got to make a point to go to this area just to try and get a feel and understanding of what the Grand Floridian is like, because everything I've heard, it's very mixed. Like, you have to be in the right mood and the right mindset for this resort to work for you, because if you're the person that's looking for fun and high energy and charm, like, not that this doesn't have charm, but it's much more elegant focused, and some people like that, and some people just want to be purely pampered, and some people don't. Like, some people just don't really jive with that. So it's definitely a resort that it depends on the type of person you are, whether you're gonna like it or not. But this is definitely one of the resorts. They've got a giant gazebo outside for You know, they hold weddings here. Like this, there's no really way around it. Like this resort is definitely a a must do for the bigger name people out there. They love themselves the Grand Floridian. They love the Grand Californian, right? So this is a pretty big deal resort, and it's definitely not finished as you could see from most of this art here. But this is pretty cool, just seeing kind of what it looks like. I'm fine with just seeing it. I mean, why not, right? Like this is fantastic. Even what they've done so far, it is really cool. So I think that's pretty much it. I really don't have too much more to add here. You know, this is a great resort if you want to try it. And just get an idea of maybe if this is for you or not, right? Maybe it's better off going there once or twice just to go there for dinner, maybe, and just get an idea of kind of what it's like. I've heard it might be difficult having children here because it's not the type of place you want to walk around in your bathing suit. It's not the type of place that you want to have your kids screaming. Like, it's just a different vibe of Disney that maybe people aren't expecting when they walk in, and it might catch them off guard if they're not really ready for it. So that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. I enjoy making all of these videos. So if you want to give this bud, give us a like and a subscribe. It would mean the world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time.